he's yet to come up to tapes. Tony Rickardson, the world champion, will go from gate 2. From gate 3, it's Leigh Richardson of Poole in the red helmet colours, and Travis McGowan goes to the outside in yellow and black. Already up at tapes there, just the 2 visiting riders, Tony Rickardson in white there, and Travis McGowan turning away. We're waiting for the track, and conditions have changed since the hot sunshine just a couple of hours ago. Expectant crowd is waiting. Starting marshal is pulling the riders up to tapes. Fossil White, the referee, with his finger on the trigger to release the tapes electronically, and then they'll be away to that first bend. No bends, just a little bit at the moment. White helmet there is Tony Rickardson. Gary Havelock in red nearest to us. Up go the tapes, and away they go. On the inside to the bend there first, that's Tony Rickardson, pursued by Havelock on the inside. Havelock picking up the speed, Rickardson getting quicker. Back in third is Leigh Richardson, tailed off Travis McGowan, but the world champion is going brilliantly.
Yeah, what a start there from Tony Rickardson. He made a great start from gate 3. He's pulling round the inside there. Gary Havelock's trying, but Gary's going that inside run. There's some dirt there low down at the moment, but of course, Tony Rickardson's controlling the race at this moment.
With 2 laps to go, Tony Rickardson out front. The Poole captain, Gary Havelock, in the red helmet colours in second place. The gap opening back to Leigh Richardson in third. It's a battle of the big guns out front. And Tony Rickardson is looking fast. He's looking wheel perfect. With a lap to go, he's looking set for all 3 points here in this one. Havelock continuing to chase and trying to close the gap. The home fans are hopeful here, but Rickardson is now opening that gap. Rickardson is going to take the checkered flag ahead of Gary Havelock. Leigh Richardson is in third place, but the 3 points to that man, the heat winner Tony Rickardson, makes it Poole 3, Kings Lynn 3, with just 1 heat gone as Tony Rickardson takes the checkered flag, and the world champion was mighty fast all the way from the tapes.
Quick chat with Kelvin at the moment, but we can get you in here. Tony, well done, good start. It's exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, we had to try the new setup on the bike today, and I always struggle here. It's normally like in my 4th or 5th try I normally get going, but it was nice to have a race win first time out.
Where is your bike?
Yeah, it's going back. We need to do some clutch adjustments. We have a little bit of problem with that, but that'll be okay for next one.
Yeah, I actually noticed when you did your first practice start, it looked like the clutch was really sharp.
Yeah, I said I normally have them really sharp, you know, but maybe it was a little bit too sharp. But I think now when I had one race on it, it will smoothen out a little bit.
All right.
Tony, at the top of the programme we were saying, big night for you in some ways as you run up to the next Grand Prix. It's not been very good for you so far. Are you trying to use this event to try and get yourself exactly where you need to be for this weekend?
No, not really, you know. It's only my first month and a half in the exclusion in first GP that's gone wrong. After that, I've been averaging over 11.5 points in Sweden and about similar in Poland, and I've been picking up some pretty good scores in England too, so it's not many things that have been going wrong really. I just keep plugging away and see what I can do.
Yeah, well, you've been flying really lately. I know I was speaking to your mechanic earlier, said that your form in Poland and Sweden is really good. I'm hoping that this isn't your least favourite track, because we want to see a clash with you and Mark.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had a couple of clashes with him yesterday on my home track, and I beat him both times and had a maximum, so I bet he would like to try to get me back, but I will do everything I can to stop him.
Nice one. Well, we look forward to it.
All right.
The nights have been good away. Can you do it again here?
Was that?
The nights have been good away. Can you do it again here, do you think?
Yeah, sure. You know, give it a go.
Fair enough.
All right.
Good luck to you.
Confident words from the world champion. He got the nights underway with a brilliant start, but we're underway already. It's 3-all at the moment. Let's go to our commentary team once again. Peter Collins and Tony Milan.
Heat number 2 now, and this brings out the reserves. And that man in blue we've seen before, he's 19-year-old Danny Bird, now racing, of course, for the Poole Pirates. We saw him at Eastbourne. He rides in the Premier League for the Isle of Wight. And I can tell you it's a tricky position here, because Martin Willis, who's retired, Danny Bird is riding his 6th meeting as a guest, and Poole won't be able to use him again at this Wimborne Road track or anywhere else for that matter. And there's also a rider racing tonight in this heat for the visitors, and that is from Kings Lynn in the white helmet colour, Chris Harris. He's already up at tapes. This is his first senior meeting. He's just 16 years old. He comes from down in Cornwall, and he's the British under-16 champion. He was telling me before the meeting, PC, that he wants to go all the way.
Yeah, he does. He's only very, very tiny, and he actually comes from a long, long way away. It takes him an hour and a half to get to his nearest track at Exeter.
Well, he goes from the inside of this one. Matej, perhaps the most experienced rider in this heat, goes from gate 2 for the Poole Pirates. Robbie Kessler for Kings Lynn, the German, goes from gate 3, and on the outside, that's Danny Bird. So it's a mixture, really, of young Brits, and, well, Matej comes from Slovenia, and Robbie Kessler from Germany. Starting marcher moves away. He must be nervous as the tapes go off, and away they go. On the inside, moving through is Matej to pick it up with the cheering for Poole, but down goes very quickly Robbie KESSLER with nobody seemingly near him. And Mick Postlewhite, our referee, based on this one, as the rider lays on the track, we'll have to wait and see. Yes, he's had to stop the heat. Robbie KESSLER causing the problem, and I just wonder about that, because Robbie KESSLER from the visitors, well, boos from the crowd. There's the exclusion line in yellow. Robbie KESSLER, the prime cause of the stoppage. He is out, and certainly he is far from happy about that, and I dare say we can see it right now with PC.
Yeah, we can see that there in yellow. You can see Robbie KESSLER runs totally out of track. There's a bit of a slippy patch there, goes down. He wasn't helped by anybody else, and that's the right decision from the referee to exclude him. We can see it again there. KESSLER right in the middle there in that yellow and black helmet. He gets a nudge before he gets to the turn, sorts himself out, but he's just riding round on his own here. Then suddenly, without any help from anybody else, down he goes, and he was the cause of that stoppage. So basically, he's been excluded. We can see it again here on the start. He lifts slightly on the start, his front wheel's off the gate, but when he gets to the turn, he's running wide, and there's not a lot of grip out there at the moment, and the back end just goes away from him. Down he goes, and of course, Danny Bird did very, very well to miss him.
Well, on seeing that, Peter, I was very interested to see the rider in white there, the youngster Chris Harris in his first meeting, because he hugged the bend all the way round, and he's going to get his first point in Senior Speedway.
Yeah, it's no good. It's going to be so important points we're going to lose now, and it's going to be hard to catch up, and the referee should just put all 4 riders back in, and it wouldn't hurt anybody. But
you've been riding so well recently. You know, you must have expected to win that heat.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to have some extra rides, and I'm going to give a go at them.
Okay, well, we'll see. Hope you don't do that again.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Robbie.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Referee, I think, behind us has been a bit lenient here, but I think we will see the youngster underway, because otherwise it would have been a 5-0 to Poole, and Chris Harris will go from the inside at just 16 years old. Matej FERJAN from Slovenia will go from gate 2 for Poole, and on the outside is Danny Bird, the youngster riding for Poole. We saw him, the 19-year-old from Guildford, against Eastbourne. It's going to be a battle for the man on the inside, racing on his own, Chris Harris. There he is. Nerves. You've got 2 bikes here, and this is his second one. As we look down on the starting gate. Starting marshal moves away. Up from the gate they go, and it's Matej FERJAN. He shoots away to that first bend first on the inside. But on the inside behind him, Chris Harris has had another engine failure. His second bike is out, and now this is going to be a walkover for the Poole Pirates. Disappointment for Chris Harris now, because Poole Pirates will get a 5-0 in this one, which gives them an 8-3 lead with just 2 heats gone. And now it's a dawdle for these two. Matej FERJAN in the red helmet colours, there we see him. And in second place, his teammate and partner, Danny Bird. Disappointing with just 2 men there. No contest and a walkover, PC. This is a dawdle.
That's right, it's the 2 Poole boys that are out there, so they're going to get a 5-0 in this race, because Chris Harris isn't going to score a point.
Well, it could hardly have started worse for the Kings Lynn Knights, as Matej FERJAN and Danny Bird riding on their own in this reserves heat now for the Poole Pirates, with Robbie KESSLER excluded after that first bend fall, and the youngster Chris Harris excluded, or rather retiring with engine failure. The Poole fans are happy with a 5-0 to Poole, 3 points to start for Matt FERJAN, and certainly absolutely delighted with a 5-0 victory. And really, for the Kings Lynn fans, among the total disappointment, the Pirates now going to the lead by 8 points to 3 with 2 heats gone.
And this is your big moment, if you like, tonight, isn't it? And you were really excited before you went out. Now you must be a little bit flat after that.
Yeah, I was excited again this meeting, and I made a good start in the first ride, and then we stopped because of the rerun, and we couldn't get the bike to start, and then the other one wouldn't start. It conked out coming out the first bend, so...
Do you know actually what's wrong with it?
No, I'm not sure yet, but we'll have a look and try to get out from the next ride.
Okay, I mean, you got a great start, so at least we can see that, you know, you're up there and you're concentrating and so on. It's just a shame that it's an error of the bike, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's working really low, but we'll sort it out for the next ride.
So, okay, so how are you feeling right now?
No, I'm all right. I'm fighting fit, ready for the next race.
Still feeling highly motivated?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, good for you, Chris.
Right, cheers.
Back to you guys.
Kings Lynn have got to get in with it right now.
There's the lineup then. Magnus, ZETTERSTROM, Zorro on the inside in blue for Poole. Gates the Himbo Brahel for Kings Lynn in white. Scott Nicholls goes in red for Poole from gate 3. And Travis McGowan, the young Australian with his second ride of the night, is the rider replacement for the absent and injured Stefan Andersson, the Swede who has a groin problem. That's the lineup. This is heat number 3. Remember, Poole, the home side, leading by 8 points to 3. And that's Magnus ZETTERSTROM of Poole. One of the few non-Englishmen in the Poole lineup these days. There we look along the tape. On the inside for Magnus ZETTERSTROM, and the Poole riders are 1 and 2. The fans are cheering. Kings Lynn are struggling. Out front in red there is Scott Nicholls, pursued by Magnus ZETTERSTROM. He's in second place. In third is Bo Brahel, the Czech Republic rider for Kings Lynn, and at the back is Travis McGowan, the rider replacement, the young Australian. But team riding up front, making it very easy for them. And those two you saw at the back there are really struggling. And this is going very much the way of the Poole Pirates, PC.
Yeah, this is another good result for Poole here, but you can see the boys, the team riding very, very well. You can see the rider on the outside, Scott Nicholls. He's riding wide so as not to throw dirt over his teammate, and his teammate's riding on the inside and staying perfectly clean, and that's what team riding's all about.
Well, this is very, very easy at the moment for the Poole Pirates, with just over a lap to go. Scott Nicholls there in the red helmet colours, Magnus ZETTERSTROM in blue. They are 1 and 2, and this is going to be a 5-1 and open up a big lead already, because back in third place in white is Bo Brahel. But the Poole Pirates fans, and there are thousands of them here, are absolutely delighted with that heat victory. That's a 5-1 to the Poole Pirates. They now lead by 13 points to 4 with 3 heats gone, going very much.
It's not too bad. They've put a bit of dirt on. There's quite a big clump of soft dirt going in this bottom corner. I noticed a few people hitting early on, so it's a little bit cautious there. And there's another one here, so I tend to go a little bit cautious because I knew it was there, and you don't want to hit too much grip going in because you end up overshooting the corner.
Sure. You've got a great crowd here tonight. We've heard 3,500 here, so they've come out to see you, and you give them what they want.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You know, crowd has been good all season. They've really been behind us this year, and yeah, it's good. You know, a lot of people come down. It's a good area to be in, and they're doing a good job.
Tell us about the start, because that so far it seems to be where you're beating Kingsley. Let's take a look at it in here. You can see, yeah, both of you getting away very well.
Good, and then I can see here I'm spinning a little bit. Magnus has made a good one as well, and I had to come across to get in there, and just coming out. I think I had a look for Magnus at some point. I could see he was with me, and
when I had a look at the track, gate 3 looked quite slick. So, yeah, it was obviously quite pleasing for you to get it out of the way early in the meeting.
I found a bit that I thought looked as I had quite. I mean, I got a bit tight there, but I found a bit that I thought had some grip to it, and luckily, you know, it paid off for me.
Oh, it looked like you really meant to get there then.
You have to. You want to get there every first time.
Wanted to stay nice and clean.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we don't worry about whether you stay clean or not. We know we want to get your bike ready, so off you go. And
goodbye. Poole. Gate 2, Robbie KESSLER for Kings Lynn. Gate 3 is the fabulous Mark Laram of Poole, and on the outside, Leigh Adams goes for Kings Lynn. This is an important heat because remember, after heat 4, if a team is 6 points or more behind, they can introduce tactical substitutions, and Tony Rickardson can make another very quick appearance. In blue, Danny Bird, first take his first ride tonight. Paid 3 actually, because he came second behind his teammate Matej FERJAN. The riders put their bikes alongside one side, lifting the moving rear wheel off the track. Starting marshal calls them up to tapes. On the inside, Danny Bird could be the key to this, but let's see what happens from the gates. Referee meet Potter White, lifts the tapes and away they go. And Robbie KESSLER in yellow, but coming across in white. A brilliant ride by Leigh Adams. The battle is joined between Adams and Danny Bird, and the Ram's got to come all the way from the back, and he's doing it, picking them off one by one to leave Mark Laram now into second place and in pursuit of Leigh Adams. But what a brilliant start by the Australian.
Tony, that's what I mean by brave. The speed he's got there, Mark Laram, he's flying. Just watch him go into that corner there. Much quicker than Leigh Adams. He's all over Leigh Adams now. He's really mounting a big attack here now.
Well, for some reason, Mark Laram, as Peter said, left at the start, but now out in pursuit of this man, Leigh Adams in the white helmet colours. This is a battle typical of Grand Prix racing. The crowd is on their feet in more ways than one, with a lap to go as Mark Laram in red is chasing Leigh Adams. Look at the Ram going wide. He now picks picks up the speed and mounts a challenge down the back straight. And the referee has stopped the action because Robbie Kessler there against the fence. And now we're going to, I think, have to see it all over again. But he has the power to award this on the final lap. And I think he will award that in white to Leigh Adams ahead of Mark Laram in red. We'll have to await the decision because the Poole fans will want to see what happened here because they think Mark Laram was chasing Leigh Adams. Let's see Kessler again running out of space.
Yeah, he just totally lost it, Robbie Kessler, going into the corner. He couldn't get the back end to break away. This is one of the characteristics about these lay-down machines that they ride. With the engine laid down, they tend to get such a lot of grip. Pushed him into the corner, couldn't get the back end to break away, and down he went.
The referee has decided to rerun the race. The Poole fans absolutely delighted with that. A really controversial decision, but I think he had to give Mark Laram the chance. There was plenty of racing to come.
I think that's it, Tony. The referee...
No, it's just not your night tonight, is it, mate?
It's not, I can't believe it. I'm just, don't know what to say.
What actually happened in your eyes?
Well, the bike just doesn't drive at all, and I can't keep up with him, and I'm battling, and I'm not in control, and I don't like it. I don't know what to do.
Did you know at the time that your teammate was actually winning out there?
No, well, I know what you want to say, but I think you don't do that really. It's no good for the sport.
So,
What is it, a rerun?
The rerun?
Will there be a rerun? Oh, no.
There will be, but I think it's going to rerun. And well, you know, it's the beginning, so we've got an awful long way to go. But it's going to be a lot of points for you to catch up now, isn't there?
Well, it's just I'm struggling with my equipment. I can't set it up right, and I don't know what to do. It was so perfect last time, and now I just struggling big time.
Okay. Let's
down twice and stayed down. He thinks he could have got back up and the race probably would have been run and won, but you know, that's the way it goes. We've just got to do it again, and that's life, isn't it?
Well, it is life. I know you've got to get ready for the next race, so I won't keep you. Good luck.
Of course, who would have gone from gate 2 is excluded. Danny Bird goes from the inside in blue for Poole. The absent Robbie Kessler falling off for the second time tonight. Mark Laram goes from gate 3. Leigh Adams from the outside. And remember, it was those outside two, Laram and Adams, that had a real battle underway when the referee made the controversy happen. But now they can see firsthand the tapes go up and apply there. And again, Adams gets to the apex of the men first. Again, Laram has to do the chasing. Back in third place is Danny Bird. And now we've got a battle between the two Grand Prix riders. Laram going for the outside, trying to pick up the grip. Now coming on the inside. What a race we have in prospect between two great riders.
Yeah, the track's a bit patchy at the moment. The dirt's a bit on the inside, a bit on the outside, so it's difficult for Mark to get his act together. But he's trying everything. He's trying that wide run. But at the moment, Leigh Adams has got some grip around that middle, and they're both riding very, very quick.
With 2 laps to go, Adams is holding the inside. Laram's using the whole of the track. Danny Bird will get a point, but outclassed at the back. But Leigh Adams out front with just over a lap to go. This is brilliant riding by the Australian Grand Prix rider. The 28-year-old from Mildura is holding off the man reckoned to be the best rider in the world at the moment. Leigh Adams out front. Laram tries another one. Laram is still trying, but Adams is going to hold him. A brilliant ride by Adams. Kings Lynn will be delighted with that. The points are shared at 3 points apiece in that heat. The second heat seeing the points shared tonight. It's 16-7 in favour of the Poole Pirates, and Leigh Adams has won it for a second time. Peter Collins, justice done, perhaps.
What's your thought on having to rerun it?
Well, I don't know, really, in normal circumstance, and I suppose it'd have been awarded, but I don't know, like I say, I don't even know what lap it was. I was too busy trying to get from the back, you know.
I know it's unusual. Generally, they are awarded, but and the second time you made a slightly better start, but the track looks quite slick. You didn't seem to be able to claw him back.
Nah, it's a bit funny, the old track, you know. And I spun off the start, and you know, I was doing everything I could, but out wide there wasn't the dirt I needed to get the run round. So he rode a sound race, and
sure. He
was
sort
probably
of stuck on the line, didn't he? You tried the outside run a couple of times, but it just wasn't quite working.
I was probably a bit quicker, you know. He had his nose in front and had a nice line. So.
Sure.
Mark, we've had a few drops of rain tonight, but nothing too big. But of course, it rained a lot yesterday. What are the conditions like generally? It looks a bit patchy.
We're trying a new surface on the track, so a bit unlucky this is the first meeting, and it is riding a bit uneven.
What's new about it?
It's kind of got a clay base to it, so, you know, we're just hoping it settles in a few weeks for the Intercontinental final, but obviously with it being new, it's only been down a couple of days, it's not really settled.
Yeah. Does it suit your style or not?
It will do in the future, but tonight it's a little bit slick.
All right. Yeah, it was unfortunate that because it looks like that the dirt's going to take a few weeks to settle down because it hasn't built up on the outside for you to sort of run around and hook some more speed up.
That's right. Yeah. Normally I can get a good outside line, but at the moment, like you say, because the dirt's new and that, it don't seem to be working for me. But we'll work on it.
Okay. Make some
Cheers.
starts.
All right, well done, Mark. Best of luck for the rest of the night. Heat 5 with your commentary team.
Heat number 5 then, Travis McGowan on the inside. Scott Nicholls for Poole goes from gate 2. Tony Rickardson, the world champion, gate 3. Rickardson has to do the business for his team, Kings Lynn. And Magnus ZETTERSTROM goes from the outside. And if something isn't picked up here, up above that is Tony Rickardson. And top of the picture is Magnus ZETTERSTROM. That's the lineup. Away they go from the tapes now, lifting there and coming on the inside in red there. Great ride by Scott Nicholls, but Tony Rickardson and Travis McGowan at the back. But Rickardson has a lot to do there, and some more team riding from Scott Nicholls and Magnus ZETTERSTROM will be needed to hold the world champion at bay. But this is a great night for the Poole Pirates.
Again, the Poole boys here, they're side by side, they're both looking for each other, but they're coming under great pressure here from Tony Rickardson. Tony doesn't look as to be going that quick, but he's right in there and he's actually catching them.
Oh, good riding by the Poole riders. Their fans are enjoying this one of the world champion eclipse, and I just wonder how many risks he's going to take for the Grand Prix coming up from Wroclaw on Saturday, because he's got to make his way out there tomorrow. He's going by road all the way, but the Poole riders here with a lap to go look as if they're going to fashion another 5-1 and open up a massive gap here tonight. Magnus ZETTERSTROM in blue there has time to look round at his teammate and partner Scott Nicholls. Is he going to let Scott Nicholls go through? Nicholls looks back. It's won by ZETTERSTROM in blue. Scott Nicholls in second place in red. Third in white there is the visiting rider Tony Rickardson. Another almost total eclipse indeed for the visitors. A 5-1 to Poole, who now lead by 21 points to 8 with 5 heats gone.
Dance for him because I know he's got a bit of a bad back as well, man. But you usually do that disco dance. You gave him a bit of a go for it, didn't you, Zara?
That's right. It's nice to win here, and I've had a little bit of problem this season to keep it going. But this is the first time I've just bought a new engine, so this is the first time I ride it, and I've had a little bit too strong engine. There is no excuse, but I've had problem this season because I swapped from Java over to GM this season, and they have feel a little bit too strong, so I've softened this one a little bit.
Yeah, look, fantastic start, particularly with Tony Rickardson on gate 3. Obviously the new engine really working well out of gate 4 there.
Yeah, that's right. It was, I saw in the heat before when Leigh done a good one from gate 4, and Mark had a bad one from gate 3, so I reckon gate 4 is pretty good at the moment.
Sure, it was worked perfectly, and obviously with Scott coming there on the inside, you actually had another perfect 5-1.
That's right, it's easy to ride with Scott. He cover up perfect at the moment, and when you have a teammate like him, it's easy to ride.
Smashing, yeah, looked really good.
Thank you very much.
Hey. Gate 3 is Gary Havelock, the Poole captain, and on the outside, the inexperienced youngster Chris Harris has suffered 2 machine failures in the first race. There's going to be a tough battle here for Kings Lynn, but the best gates, well, you can see, are gates 2 and 4, 40%, and nobody yet has won a heat from gate 1, and that is unusual.
Yeah, that is unusual, Tony, because we did think that gate 1 would be certainly the gate for the beginning of the meeting anyway, but it's done nothing tonight.
Goods here, but in Leigh Adams, the man with the white helmet colour there, they have a great chance because he's fast and he's doing well. And now Leigh Adams picks it up, and once again he's first to the bend. On the inside, oh, good Leigh Richardson going over the white line, losing it completely. Gary Havelock goes round the outside to pick it up in front, but the Kings Lynn riders in second and third place. Disappointment for Leigh Richardson at the back, but Gary Havelock came from nowhere to go round the field there and pick it up.
Yeah, Leigh Adams is very, very quick, and Gary Havelock's doing great to stay ahead of him there. I mean, Gary's riding the fast line, mid-track. There's a bit of grip. You can see he's riding right where the grip is, and he's actually pulling away from Leigh Adams. And, you know, again, this is another good ride from the Poole riders.
While Poole are certainly doing it well, the points could be shared here, but no, through into third place is Leigh Richardson. At the back, Chris Harris totally eclipsed, and with a lap to go now, this is going to be another heat advantage to the home team, because Gary Havelock in red is in front. Leigh Adams is losing ground in second place. Back in third place now is Leigh Richardson in blue. This is going to be a 4-2, in fact. Havelock wins it. The cheers of the Poole fans. Leigh Adams some 20 metres behind, and that now is 4 points to 2. That's now 25-10 with 6 heats gone, that the home team leads a 15-point margin after 6 heats will make that man, the Poole captain Gary Havelock, extremely happy. And well, from the start it went quite well for King's Lynn, but thereafter it was Havelock that picked it up.
Yeah, we can see this now. There's Gary Havelock in the red helmet. He makes a perfect start. Now, Leigh Adams doesn't make a good one this time. We can see Leigh in the white there. He totally misses it as Gary Havelock in the red gets there just ahead of him. We can see Javi now. Javi's got a load of grip. His back wheel is on that dark patch there where all the grip is. Of course, Leigh Richardson almost runs in the back of Leigh Adams' back wheel. But when they run down the back straight, it's Gary Havelock that's got the run straight into that lead. And when he gets to the last turn, Gary's got the whole race sewn up. And what a ride from him, and what a recovery from Gary. He's flying at the moment.
Well, it's pirate power tonight all the way, isn't it? We've never had a match so far apart, really. I mean, the points difference is massive tonight. You must be well chuffed with yourself.
Yeah, we're well pleased. You know, it's we've been doing this to teams that come here. We've been Peterborough come here. They're supposed to be one of the best teams, and we've beaten them twice by quite a long way. We went to their place on Friday night and got a draw there. Went to Coventry and only lost by 2 on Saturday night. And as I said, the team's really on a roll, and all the boys are fired up, and they're hungry for it.
Now, what about your win, though? Just take your heat for an example there. You just went out and it was annihilation, really, wasn't it?
Well, I went on my other bike in that second ride because I had a problem with the clutch in the first ride. On the way to the start, I did a practice start and it felt okay, but when I got to the tapes, the clutch was slipping and it wouldn't bite. And when I went off the start, it just, you know, it didn't go anywhere. And that's why Tony was able to get across from gate 2 and beat me. But so we've got on the other bike now, and that's clutch is okay. Both of them bikes are good, but as I said, it's going good.
Okay, there's not really anything else I can say to you apart from well done. It's going fantastic for the Poole Pirates.
Move on now to heat number 7. Certainly they've got something to do here because this heat has a further extension of the lead of the Poole Pirates written all over it. On the inside is Beau Brahel for the King's Lynn Knights. Mark Laram goes for Poole from gate 2. Robbie Kessler, who's fallen off twice already, is the rider replacement for the injured and absent Stefan Andersson. On the outside, Matt FERJAN, the Slovenian rider, who's going pretty fast at the moment, and he's away. Starting marshal moves away. Tapes go up, and this time Laram is quicker because Laram is to the first man first. We're going round the outside. It's Matt FERJAN, and it's Poole 1 and 2 again. They'll open up what is already a 15-point lead by another 4 if it stays like this. Jetting round the outside with Matt FERJAN. Mark Laram in pursuit, and frankly, the King's Lynn riders are nowhere.
Yeah, I'm very, very impressed with Matej FERJAN. He's just flying, really. Slovenia don't have a great deal of riders, but he's an exception. He is absolutely brilliant. And the way he's riding now, team riding with Mark Laram, I mean, they're absolutely flying for Poole here. And this is going to stretch Poole's lead even further, Tony.
Virtually nothing happened at the back. 2 races, both between riders of the same team. And out front to these 2 in blue, Matt FERJAN and Mark Laram in his shadow going through on the inside now. This is easy for Poole Pirates. This is going to be a 5-1 to the Poole Pirates, and they'll be leading 30 points to 11 if it stays like this, because as they take the checkered flag, it's Matt FERJAN in blue that gets there first. Mark Laram in red is second. You could
That's the class by you Pirates tonight.
Yeah, so far so good, you know. Matty's been riding well the last few weeks, and you know, he gets right on me line there, so I know he's going quick, you know, so just fill in for him. And we weren't under pressure then, so you know, we didn't have to worry too much.
Matty's coming in at the moment. Obviously, it's not all about one rider, but
if he can get over it, looks like he's settling down really well in the
I mean,
league.
when he first came over, he was struggling, you know, the big tracks over abroad are big and wide and slick. But now he's class act. He's starting to get his act together, and he's definitely been our trump card.
Yeah, he's fast as well, isn't he? He's not hanging about.
He's learning, he listens, and he's a good kid, so it's good.
While he's coming up here, just give us a bit more about this track. I'm very interested to know you put new surface on it tonight.
Well, we've had a lot of trouble with the old surface, just the water just sitting in it and not doing anything, and it gives like a ridge effect. It doesn't stick to the base, so what we've done, we've imported some clay from up north somewhere, and we're just trying to get it to stick to the base to give us a bit more grip with a bit less material.
Come on in here, Matty. Well done.
Thank you.
Pleased with that?
Yeah, it's a good race. You know, a little bit deep in the outside. Brilliant. Yeah.
This man here is saying some nice things. What's it like to have a guy like this in your team?
Yeah, he's a good team rider, and he waits for me, and I'm a little bit slower than him.
Always useful in a team sport.
No, actually, I don't think you're going so bad. It looks like you're settling down in the British League very well, and it looks like you're starting, and your speed in that last race was superb.
Yes, thanks. I like this track, you know, and I enjoy in England, and that's brilliant. I need more experience, that's all.
And obviously there's a big difference between riding in your home country on the big tracks like the European tracks. How have you found that, the difference here with the slightly smaller, more difficult tracks?
You know, at home is every time with the flat out, you know, the full gas, and here is you need a more technical, you know, more, you know,
more
feeling in England, you know, because it's smaller track. You don't need a full throttle or
everywhere.
Yeah, going to say the deft, graceful touch of Marla Ram you've been learning off, have you?
But no, it looks like you're settling down really well.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Travis McGowan, so that's the lineup. Kessler on the inside where nobody's won from yet. I doubt if Kessler will do it, PC.
Well, he went a bit better in his last one. He got a point in his last race, so maybe he's on a bit of an upturn, but, you know, it's a tall order for him off that.
Remember, Poole leading by 30 points to 11. Starting marshal moves away. Up go the tapes. Kessler, oh! Kessler's off again. He hits the wheels of Danny Bird. That'll make interesting reading. The referee will have to look and see what happens there, but for my money, Robbie Kessler hit the wheels of the man next to him and off he came, and the referee will have to make a decision there because the out of luck Robbie Kessler, the chain came off, he had no drive. PC.
Yeah, we can see it. There's Kessler on the inside start position, but of course the rider in blue, Danny Bird, comes right across the front of him there. They catch each other. He did very, very well to sort of hang on that bike for as long as he did. He fell awkwardly on the handlebars and the white line. All his chains had pulled off the bike. We can see it again, although from that angle we can see that Kessler actually went out as the other rider was coming in, so they actually caught very heavily in the middle, and Kessler's gone down in a cloud of dust there, and he's landed on the grass on the inside. We can see that again. His back wheel's been totally lifted off the ground, and he's fell very heavily.
Well, once again the German Robbie Kessler is with Susie Perry.
Well, Robbie, it's no laughing matter, but we can't go on meeting like this. That really didn't look like it was your fault. How did you read it?
It was close. He turned over on my gate and he just connected with the foot pegs, and just not my night. Should have stayed in bed.
You just said to me you've had enough, but you're going to have to
carry on.
Yeah.
I have to carry on battling, but...
Tony's here as well. Let's just let's grab a hold of Tony. Tony, it just seems like someone is against you up there tonight, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't believe this. These guys get trashed, you know, and everybody's trying their best, but they must be going really, really good, and we must have an off night, almost everybody of us. But we're going to try to put everything together as we can and try to make the best of it now.
Oh, Tony, you're so positive, but it all seems to be happening to poor old Robbie Kessler, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, he's been having a tough run the last couple of meetings, and I just hope he can get back because he's been doing great for us earlier on.
Yeah, I mean, everybody seems to be pulling together. Can you just take us through the bike now and what's wrong with it?
Well, we really got the footrest on this side is really bent really bad, and I don't know, the fork looks bent and about everything really. So if I was Robbie, I should try to jump on my second bike, but see what he makes up.
What will Robbie do now? Will he be able to ride another bike, or what? You know, what's the score?
I don't know how his second bike. He maybe already have trouble with that. But if he could get the second bike going, I think that would be a good idea. But it looks like he's going to try to get this bike going.
Okay, well, Robbie's down here. Let's just grab one last word with him. Robbie, what bike are you going to use?
I have to use this bike because I didn't ride that other bike yet, and I feel much more confident on this one. But
okay, well, you know what? We're in a bit of a state down here.
To him is Danny Bird, whose rear wheel he totally destroyed. Travis McGowan, the young Aussie, moving away from tapes. There goes from gate 3. And on the outside in red is Leigh Richardson, the promising young Englishman racing for Poole. And there again, well, let's hope we can have a cleaner start this time. And I think Mr. Danny Bird from gate 2 will steer clear of that man, Robin 11. This is the rerun of heat number 8. The starting marshal moves away. The riders look down, and away on the inside, Kessler. Bird goes wide to keep out of the way. Going around the outside in red is Leigh Richardson to pick it up. His colleague Danny Bird is back in 4th place. Kessler's now in 2nd ahead of Travis McGowan. McGowan goes wide into the fence and allows the rider in blue, Danny Bird, to come through. It certainly isn't a night for the Kings Lynn Knights, but now picking up in second. Oh, Bird hooks up, and he's all over the place, and Danny Bird's bike does rocking and rolling, and what a state he's in, and that's the second problem he's had in this heat. The referee has stopped the heat in the interest of safety. I think you'll find that Danny Bird took a blow on the head from the rider following as he took a perler. I just wonder what happened there. Neil Middleditch's team manager in the red coat coming charging out to see what's wrong. Teammates there as well. Magnus ZETTERSTROM going to see what's wrong. Susie Perry will be there very, very shortly. She's having to do a lot of running about tonight. But for Danny Bird, well, let's hope he's all right. I'm sure that somebody hit his head there, and we can see the mark on the helmet colour there. The rear wheel of the man in fourth place, I think it was, that ran into Danny Bird. Hopefully we'll be able to see that in a moment. But really, we can see it now, Peter Collins. It didn't look nice.
No, I think Danny got it wrong there coming out to that corner. He seems to be reasonably okay, but we can see what happened. Danny's there in the blue. He hits the inner curb, I think, on the inside and loses the front wheel. He tries to correct it, and he goes an almighty head first over the front handlebars. And of course, very fortunate there. I don't think Travis McGowan did actually catch him. I think he actually hit his head on the track, and I'm sure he'll be very, very dazed, and I'd be very glad if he's going to get up on his feet, because we don't like to see this. But first he's on his knees there, as we can see, but then he sort of drops down, and he's probably got a bit of a dose of a bad headache and a bit of concussion.
Well, the referee has excluded Danny Bird as the prime cause of the stoppage, and that's perhaps the first problem for the all-conquering Poole Pirates. We understand it's an ankle problem that he's suffering from at the moment, and certainly down there, well, the blow on the head didn't do too much damage, but there are problems there, and at the moment he's lying on the track waiting for attention, and certainly they won't want to move him until they investigate exactly what the problem is. In a moment, we'll be back to see the action, hopefully. Tony Miller. Well, that spill excludes Danny Bird as the prime cause of the stoppage to leave. The inside in yellow, his teammate is Robbie Kessler. On the outside, Leigh Richardson. The starting margin moves away, up go the tapes, a lift on the outside. Robbie Kessler comes across, coming through on the inside is Travis McGowan, and now look at the ride through from Leigh Richardson. He goes between the two Kings Lynn riders like the meat in a sandwich, squeezing out of the front, and now he's away, PC.
Yeah, this is why Poole paid round about an estimated £25,000 for him at the start of the year. He's one of the absolute classic young English lads.
In front and going well is Leigh Richardson with 2 laps to go. He has 3 points here for the taking. Once again, the Kings Lynn riders are trailing. Travis McGowan is in second place. The troubled Robbie Kessler is way, way back as Leigh Richardson, with just over a lap to go, is opening up the gap out front and providing himself with 3 points. And that will mean he'll become, well, the umpteenth heat winner now for the home team from Poole, because he's going to win this quite comfortably in red. Ahead of him, white in second place, Travis McGowan. A long way back in third in yellow is Robbie Kessler. 3 points apiece. It's 33 points to 14. All bar 2 heat winners of the 8 so far have come from the home team. 6 heat victors now for the Poole Pirates. The 6th is Leigh Richardson. They lead by 33 points to 14. Leigh Richardson lifted from the start, but picked it up well down the back straight.
Tony, that was a brilliant first corner there from Leigh Richardson. He didn't make the start at all. We can see as they disappear into the distance there. This is the start. The 2 lads from Kings Lynn make the start. Of course, Leigh Richardson on the outside lifts as he gets to the first corner. He runs very wide, lines the bike up. He sees the 2 Kings Lynn boys have left a big gap. He's got the wheels in line, goes straight through that gap, sat on the back mudguard, all the grip, all that extra speed, straight into that lead, and he never gave up that lead after that. And here, round the top turn, he's got a great line there as he comes to the finish for that 3 points, and that saved Poole's bacon again.
On the inside, Magnus ZETTERSTROM goes from gate 2 for Poole. Chris Harris, the 16-year-old for Kings Lynn, goes from gate 3, and Scott Nicholls, the British Under-21 champion, he goes from the outside in red for the Poole Pirates. 7 to go. Referee waits. Starting march moves away. Up go the tapes again. Lifting somewhat is Magnus ZETTERSTROM, but look at the speed of Scott Nicholls as he picks it up. ZETTERSTROM's going with him, and the team riding will come into play again. And this, if it stays like this, will be another 5-1 to Poole. Lee Adams coming through on the inside, gaining and moving into second place, now ahead of ZETTERSTROM, and setting out his stall to chase the man in front, Scott Nicholls. Can he do it? ZETTERSTROM making ground. Nicholls extending his lead out front. The goal! ZETTERSTROM has taken a referee will have to stop this one. And the showmanship from Magnus ZETTERSTROM will certainly end for a while with that one. And, well, the team riding didn't work there, PC. He's down on the track, and he is excluded by the referee from any rerun. And an opportunity for a heat advantage opening the way of the visitors. Let's hope that Magnus ZETTERSTROM can be okay. PC, let's have a look at that and see how it happened.
Yeah, we can see what's happening as ZETTERSTROM comes into the corner. That's the piece of track that Gary Havelock was looking at, that they were trying to do some work on. The bike straightened up, and instead, basically, he's trying to get off the bike at this point, but he goes straight into the fence, back first, and we know he's got that back injury, so he's going to be struggling actually to get up from that, and you know, he's looking at, he's going to be struggling to get back on his feet, I think.
Well, there we are, the referee stopping the heat in the interest of safety. Great work by the youngster, Chris Harris, to avoid real catastrophe there. Peter, that rider's got some skill, he may be inexperienced.
That was marvellous there from Chris Harris, just to get through that gap. His front wheel was almost touching the back seat of ZETTERSTROM's bike as he went through that gap. And of course, there's ZETTERSTROM up on his feet, feeling good. And, you know, I like to see them get up and walk away from accidents like that. It could have been very, very nasty.
Well, he normally keeps the Adams on the inside with Chris Harris, the two riders from Kings Lynn. Scott Nicholls, the only rider from Poole, has work to do. But Scott, the British under-21 champion, certainly has the ability. I wonder, Peter Collins, could Kings Lynn produce the goods and win a heat?
See if Leigh can make this start.
Well, there we go, on the inside, making the start certainly is Leigh Adams. But look at Scott Nicholls. What speed that man is showing his home track. And now the battle is joined between Scott Nicholls in red, looking down from the helicopter, Leigh Adams in second place. The youngster Chris Harris, who clearly has ability at just 16, is perhaps outclassed in this one, but he's showing his track craft at the back. But out front in red, Scott Nicholls will at least give a share of the points to Poole. Remember, he's riding on his own, that man there, with the exclusion of Magnus ZETTERSTROM. But Scott Nicholls is getting better and better every meeting.
Yes, he is. He's looking so sharp and very, very fast. That bike's really working. It's getting so much grip in the turns. He's really turning well. The bike's getting lots of grip, picking the front wheel up right. Very, very light on the front wheel. And for a lad of his age and such limited experience, he's riding brilliantly.
It's time to look back there, Scott Nicholls, because he knows he's got another 3 points in the bag. In second place in white was Leigh Adams. The crowd are loving this in the end. Well, a long way behind is the rider in yellow. And the promising youngster from Poole goes from gate 2. Bahama Brahel goes from gate 3. And on the outside is Gary Havelock. That's the lineup. The two Poole riders, of course, there. The promising youngster and a past world champion. Starting marshal just about to move away. The riders hook down on the magnets, trying to creep it away. On the outside goes Gary Havelock. Havelock picks it up on the first bend. Going round to the blue helmet colours there is Leigh Richardson. It's Poole 1 and 2 again, but ground being made by Bo Brahel. And Tony Richardson disappointing, back in third place and making very little headway. But Havelock, the past world champion, is looking good.
Got there straight from the start, but of course Tony Richardson struggling a bit in third place. He doesn't seem to be able to make much ground up, although he's having to go here to try and get around the outside of Leigh Richardson.
Richardson having to go on the inside. Richardson will go down, but the gate shut on him by the skill of Leigh Richardson. A brilliant piece of riding by the Poole youngster. But out front is Gary Havelock in red, and with just over a lap to go, Tony Richardson will have to try again. But Leigh Richardson is riding with confidence. He's riding with maturity, and he's team riding with Gary Havelock. Richardson's having a go again. You see there in second place, but still he's being held off. Gary Havelock's going to win this in red. Richardson comes again, but look at the speed, and for my money, on the line in blue, Leigh Richardson held him off to leave Tony Richardson in third place. Surely a 5-1 in favour of the home side, which takes them on to 41. Kings Lynn on to 18. That was mighty tight. We await the verdict of our referee. Travis McGowan, the young Australian, goes from gate 2 for Kings Lynn. Gate 3 for Poole in the blue helmet colours is Matt FERJAN, the Slovenian, in such fine form. And on the outside, the world champion Tony Richardson. The ram against Richardson here, PC.
Yeah, Mark Laram's right down on the inside there.
There is Mark Laram on the inside. Up goes the starting place. This time Laram has made the gate, but Tony Richardson's there first. Will the world champion hold it here? Battle in second place is Matt FERJAN, falling now back to last. Mark Laram is going to have it, and look at the moment as it stands, it's still level heats because Travis McGowan is in the back, and if it stays champion is out front. His bike is lifting, but he's getting faster and faster, and Mark Laram's got a lot to do to catch him.
He has. Tony Richardson looks a totally different rider in this race. He's riding just like we normally see him. He's the current world champion. He's actually pulling away here now from Mark Laram. Mark's trying very, very hard, and he's not going to catch him the way he's going.
With just over a lap to go, Tony Rickardson at last has found the right machinery. At last he's stretching the gap, but only he and Leigh Adams have won heats for the visitors. This is going to be once again a share of the points here, and it still means that there's a big lead for the home side. Tony Rickardson takes it in white ahead of Mark Laram in red in second place. Matt FERJAN is back in third place in blue. That's the share of the points at 3 points apiece. 44-21 is the scoreline in favour of Poole. But Tony Rickardson, his second heat victory of the night.
Absolutely great up until today, but it's been a tough run because I'm going to need to be here a little bit earlier for this match. I only had like 3 hours sleep this night, so a little bit tired, but now I got a little bit of dirt in my face. That pumped me up a little bit, and the bike worked really good in the last race.
And looked like you actually changed your bikes for the last ride.
Yeah, I changed bike and we changed gearing, and it's a new motor, a new cam we're trying, and I think we went the wrong way in the beginning with the gearing, and then we went back up again, and it seems to work a lot better, but still a lot of tough races to go.
You know, you were talking about you've only had 3 hours sleep. Well, where have you been this week? What have you been up to?
Oh man, you know, I rode in Broslo on the Sunday, was coming back, and we did some practice on the Monday. I had the whole meeting yesterday in Sweden, and we was racing actually Smyrna, who's been winning the league. We had a great crowd, about 5,000 people there. And,
really?
But you know, then we had some work to do, and I got to bed about 1. I had to get up 3:15 English time this morning to get here, so it's been a bit of a hectic time really for me.
Right.
Such is the life, the glamorous life of the world champion of Matej. That sounds horrendous, Tony, but it just shows that's what all of you guys are doing, and it's very important to mention that, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, that's what most of the guys do, and sometimes you're a little bit tired, but I think it's also very important if you want to be world champion. I think you got to keep that busy, and especially just try to ride your bike every day, and then you just got to try to keep yourself motivated all the time, and if you can ride every day and keep motivated and be fit, that's what makes you world champion.
I know that you actually stepped out of the British scene for a while, and I know that you've come back into it, and you feel it's very important that you do ride here to keep yourself race fit.
Yeah, at that stage when I moved out of British League, it was good because I still had the race fitness for the next 2 years after it really, you know, I had the focus and everything. And it was actually when I moved out of the British League, I became world champion the first time. Right. But after that, it gradually fell off, and then I was back here again. It gave me an extra kick again, and it made me world champion again. So I think it makes it 2 ways.
Right, okay.
We've got a slight delay.
Beaten by an opponent. He goes from the inside. Leigh Adams, the tactical substitute for Lynn, goes from gate 2. Matt FERJAN for Poole goes from gate 3 in blue. And Bohumil Brahel, the Czech Republic rider, goes from the outside. Bo Brahel at 33 years old. I just wonder whether we are watching the Elite League champions elect here tonight. They're going a long way towards it with a victory here. Over the shoulder of Scott Nicholls, we watch the tapes go up. Away they go, Scott Nicholls on the inside, but doing well there is Leigh Adams to pick it up. The Lynn rider in front in yellow and black, but once again Poole in second place. In blue, it's Darren Bird coming through behind Bohumil Brahel, his tail off at the rear. Scott Nicholls is back in third place, surprisingly. But now the race is on out front for Leigh Adams, and if Bo Brahel can make ground there, we could get a heat advantage for the visitors. But stretching that, and Danny Bird is certainly looking better and better here now, because he's gaining with experience each and every meeting. But out front, Leigh Adams looking good, and really Bo Brahel shut out by the 2 home riders.
Yeah, Leigh Adams made a great first turn. We can see he's riding the inside line. Most of the other boys are riding very wide, but Leigh's riding very, very tight round here.
Yes, my mistake, Matej FERJAN, of course, the rider in blue. They're the reserve replacement, but going well and looking good. And Leigh Adams out front is going to take this. Leigh Adams is going to win this once again in yellow. Matej FERJAN in second place in blue, back in third in red. It's a 3-all once again. That's 47-24, the scoreline in favour of Poole Pirates. But Leigh Adams, the victor there, and Leigh Adams certainly looking good and showing what might have been perhaps as he partly Australia's #1. And Mark Laram, could he be a world champion of time to come? Top rider in the world at the moment. What a heat. We can hardly have a better quartet in World Speedway. A better heat tonight. And that really, well, could that change with the world champion there at the moment? There we look now over the shoulder of the world champion. All in front. They look down at the same time they go. World champion kicks it down. And Tony Richardson takes Gary Havelock wide. Havelock comes back. What a battle we've got here. Back in third place is Leigh Adams. Look at the ram ploughing through the field in blue. This is speedway of the highest quality. Gary Havelock holding up the world champion Tony Richardson. Havelock, the Poole captain, has the cheering crowd behind him as he goes down the back straight. Laram has pulled through into third place now, but what's happening here? What a tremendous race we see.
Will Laram go inside or outside? That is always the question. Mark just took rider there, Leigh Adams on the inside, but of course Tony Richardson's bucking and diving as he's in pursuit of Gary Havelock, who's holding a great lead right now.
Gary Havelock is holding off the current world champion as they go to the final lap. There'll be tremendous cheers for the Poole crowd for this one as Gary Havelock's, well, his speed, his ability at the moment, he's back to his best as the former world champion. Tony Richardson can't catch him. Mark Laram is back in third place. The fans go mad. Gary Havelock is very, very popular here. The smiles on the faces of the Poole fans. It's 51-26 in favour of Poole with still 2 heats to go. And the hero of the moment is the world champion. One day in Wrocław was a great day for Gary Havelock when he took his world title, and one has the feeling that he's now as good as ever. And certainly the fans here in this stadium appreciate the efforts of
The 4 best riders that we've got out here, and you just blew away the world champion. A good time to do it.
Yeah, it was a great time to do it. I mean, I beat him. He beat me in heat 1, but I had a problem with my bike. The clutch was slipping on my first bike. When I dropped the clutch, nothing happened, so I changed out my second bike for my second ride. And I've won all my races since then, so it's going good. The bike's going good. Track's a bit scary.
Yeah, we noticed that.
You know, it's the same for everybody. You just got to get out there and try and find a smooth line.
Just say the crowd are a bit scary and all, aren't they?
Yeah, lovers down here. It's brilliant.
I know that Poole are obviously winning the match quite comfortably, but when you come to a heat like that, you know, you can see the determination. Even though you've won the match, you're still up for winning a heat like that.
Absolutely. It's, you know, there's no good or bad time to beat the world champion. You just go out there and try and do it. I know when I was world champion, everybody tries that extra 10% to try and beat you. And, you know, it's not just him, it's all the riders who come here. I've been, you know, if I could ride like I ride here on every track, I'd be up at the top of the averages.
Gary, just a minute, we've been talking, you know, it was here that you had your crash a few years ago, and at the time, it took a long time to come back from it. People said you were never going to get back to the sort of height that you were at 92. Do you feel now that your form really is up there? Because you really are proving, especially in the Grand Prix as well, that you are back to where you were.
I wouldn't say I'm all the way back yet. You know, I'm certainly getting there. I'm heading in the right direction now. We've got some good machinery, a good team set up, and moving down to Poole's been a real bonus for me. You know, the track really suits me here. The confidence has come back, and we're definitely heading in the right direction. You know, the Intercontinental Finals here, a couple of weeks, and you know, I really, really want to get back in them Grand Prix.
Yeah, you look really good, and obviously with it on your home track, the Intercontinental, you've got to have a very good chance of qualifying directly into next year's Grand Prix.
Yeah, that's certainly what I'm going to be trying for. You know, I'm going to come here and try and win the meeting. You know, I don't really been in them Grand Prix challenges a few times, and they're pretty scary sort of dudes. Everybody's out for blood and nobody gives an inch. I suppose a bit like the Grand Prix really. So if I can come here, you know, it's going to be difficult. You've got Mark and you've got Scotty, both rider as well. You know, but I feel if I perform the best I can on the day, then there's no reason why I can't do it.
But you're starting at the moment, it's just out of the top drawer. Is there any reason for that? Or is it, you know, you've changed setup or anything?
No,
or?
I haven't really changed anything. I mean, you know, the starts here are always good, you know, consistent. They're quite good again tonight, and you know, I've got the bike set up perfect for the surface on this sort of track.
One thing I would say was that Gate 1's not working very well tonight. I can't understand it because that's what the stat says, 0%.
Yeah, the problem is, Calvin, like the track's completely different tonight than what it's been all year. They've put some clay down, different surface, and it's always the starts as well. Usually Gate 1 the best gate in Gate 4. You can't get out of it, but Gate 4 is quite good tonight.
Yeah, you can see the percentage. You've got 0% off Gate 1. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a total reversal, actually, of normally, because I was speaking to you earlier, just saying, is it normal that Gate 4 goes off during the evening? And you said, yeah, no problem, but tonight it's completely the opposite.
Absolutely. Well, usually, you know, when we do the toss for the gate positions at the start of the meeting, if we win the toss, we take 2 and 4 in the first race, because then that gives us 1 and 3 in heat 13, which is usually vital.
Sure.
That always works the best, but tonight it's simply go the other way around.
Right.
Well, well done again to you.
Goes from the inside. Bobrahel comes in as rider replacement for King's Lynn from Gate 2. Magnus ZETTERSTROM for Poole goes from Gate 3. And on the outside in yellow and black, as a tactical substitute, is Travis McGowan's left. They want to see their team triumph. So far, all's going to plan. Away they go. On the inside this time, Matt FERJAN picks it up. The man from Gate 1 is in front for the first time tonight. Tail off at the back. Well, there are problems for King's Lynn once again with McGowan at the back. But out front from Gate 1 is Matt FERJAN. First time tonight, Gate 1 has made it. In second place on the inside is his teammate Magnus ZETTERSTROM. Back in third place is Bobrahel. And the rear is Travis McGowan. And this looks like another 5-1 to the home side Poole.
The Slovenian Matt FERJAN made a great start off Gate 1. Looks as though he might be the only heat winner, or certainly the first one off that inside start. He's got this race in the bag here if he can just keep riding the fast line, which he's doing right now, because he's got his teammate Magnus ZETTERSTROM right behind him. So basically it looks as though he's going to get the win here, Tony.
With a lap to go, class is telling here for Poole Pirates. Could we be watching the Elite League champions-elect? They've been superb tonight. We've seen them already win away at Eastbourne. We've seen them pick up the bonus point over 2 legs in that one. But here, they're going to take... Oh, there we are. It's won in red this time at the end by Magnus ZETTERSTROM, ahead of his teammate Matt FERJAN. Third place going to Bobrahel. Another 5-1 to the Poole Pirates, who lead by 56 points to 27. It's a beating and a half for King's Lynn, but those from Gate 1. Leigh Adams for King's Lynn, Gate 2. Scott Nicholls, Poole, Gate 3. Tony Rickards from the outside. Contrary Rod Gary said the last heat was not won from Heat 1. Matej FERJAN finished second. ZETTERSTROM from Gate 3 won it, so we've yet to have a heat victory from Gate 1. It's certainly been a great night for Poole, and 3,500 of their fans here in the Wimborne Road Stadium here at Poole. And they would like to see this. King's Lynn yet to provide a heat advantage all night. They've only provided heat winners in 4 races. Up go the tape. Havelock from the inside, bakes into the apex of the bend. Coming round is his teammate Scott Nicholls. Nicholls goes down the back straight in front. The King's Lynn riders again are trailing. Tony Richardson in third place, making ground and trying to come through into second. Leigh Adams tail off at the rear. For the moment it's 2, Poole 1 and 2. And this could be another 5-1 to take them to 61 points. A staggering number.
This is another great team ride here by the Poole boys. There's Scott Nicholls looking so good on the outside, but now Havelock having to ride the inside because Scott's out there.
Remember, it's 6 laps. There are now 3.5 laps still to go. Boys at the back there, Tony Richardson in third place in front of his teammate Leigh Adams, but they are trailing in the wake of these two out front with 3 laps to go. It's Scott Nicholls now the leader, ahead of his captain Gary Havelock. Back in third place Richardson, back in fourth is Leigh Adams, and yet again the King's Lynn Knights are being outclassed in this one. With 2 laps to go, it's Poole 1 and 2 and set for a 5-1 in this one, and that would take them on to 61-28, a mammoth victory for a league match. With now a lap and a quarter to go, it's Scott Nicholls and Gary Havelock there, the Poole Pirates riding as a team. Back in third place is Tony Richardson, and with just over half a lap to go, who's going to win this on the line against the checkered flag? Because I can tell you that here they go, and there is the wheelie from Scott Nicholls in red, ahead of Gary Havelock in blue. Tony Richardson in yellow are the celebrations on the track. The wheelie from Scott Nicholls. And certainly for the King's Lynn Stars, well, it's not been a great night, but for that man there, Scott Nicholls, could he be a world champion in the future, PC?
I think so. I think he's got what it takes. It's not been a close match, but we've had some great action here. Plenty of excitement, lots going on. We've had a fabulous night speedway here at Poole. Full credit to everybody here, and Poole boys have dominated.
And it looks to me as if Poole could well be serious contenders for top of the league title.
Yeah, Poole are sat right up there now at the top of the table, and they deserve to be. And I really like this Poole team, and I'm hoping it won't be long before we see them again, because they are dynamite at the moment.
5 young English.
Everybody's talking about you in the Grand Prix and on your individual performances, but boy, what a team you've got with you.
Yeah, they didn't need me tonight, you know, very normal sort of performance for me tonight, but the boys done it for me, so that was good.
And Zorro, not bad from you either. You fell over, you did the dances, you did everything else, but you get back upright again.
Yeah, that's right. Everything is working good, and nothing can go wrong really in this kind of team. We are strong and we are a good team, and team spirit there is everything.
Yeah, it's a great spirit in Kelvin. We've been noting it, and you can talk to some of the boys here. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Sure.
Really?
Gary was talking about the crushing machine. I think that's dead right. You've crushed Kings Lynn tonight, and this is going to show a message to all the other teams, surely, that you really mean business.
Yeah, it certainly is. We've beaten Peterborough a couple of times by quite a bit down here. We've beaten all the teams, you know. We had that one hiccup against Oxford earlier on when the guys